Okay, so now what's the name of the firm again? Coles and Thompson. This is the third one that you've spoken with? Okay. Okay, we'll call them C&T, regardless of how that may sound if you say it fast. Okay, so what time's your interview? Okay. And the question is, how will it go? Okay. Let's say, well, the outcome will determine how it went, right? So we'll focus on how it will turn out. So what will be the result after her interview with CNT tomorrow 10 a.m.? And we'll do 3, right? 1, 2, 3. Okay. I see the 10 of Pentacles next to the 9 of Pentacles. Those are like the best cards of the deck for a fully favorable outcome. The 10 of Pentacles is like hitting the jackpot. So like whatever you asked for in your salary, you're likely to get that or more. Maybe they work at a firm where everybody has to have the same starting pay, you know, to avoid legal issues. You know, maybe it's a little higher than you're asking. It's a possibility. You may get some type of bonus. You may get some kind of offer to pay off outstanding student loan debt if you sign retainer agreement. So now you know why when we did the readings the other day, this one came out better than the second one. Next to that is the 9 of Pentacles. The 9 of Pentacles is the literal interpretation is the woman with everything. Okay. Health, wealth, happiness, success, abundance. Going into the past is the Ace of Cups. It's not a love reading, but it just means that you found something beneficial to you. A new start. And it's about as good of a new start as a good new start could be. The Ace of Cups. Okay. Now you've got 2 aces in this reading. In the present, you have the Ace of Pentacles. That's the start of a lucrative job offer. And that's because of the nature of the question you asked. This card has other meanings as well. Okay, so in the 3 position, we have your favorite 9 of Swords. So, you know, this is all looks good, but it looks like you're going to be like up all night 9 of Swordsing. Why would you do that? Yeah. No, before. No, before. So you're going to do a job interview and then you're going to Iceland. Alright, go team, yeah. Okay, so are you worried that you're going to miss your flight? That's kind of a weird card to get. So you scheduled the trip to keep your mind from 9 of Swords and you're going to do it anyway. Gotcha. I'll be up all night. Huh? Oh, sometimes things are divinely guided. Let's look and see. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4. You got 4 major arcana cards in the reading, so it might be mildly divinely guided, just like a little kick over the hump, you know. But then going into the future, so this would be after the interview, we have the Strength card. So it looks like you meet or exceed, you know, what they were expecting, you know, in terms of performance on an interview. Then you have the Hanged Man next to the Empress. So the Empress is a woman that's good in business, handles her own, yada yada. That's the image you portrayed to them. Like, you know, she's got her shit together, we better pick her. Next to that is the Hanged Man, which, you know, means wait, stuck in the mud feeling. So they're not, most likely not going to tell you tomorrow, yeah, we're going to hire you. So there's going to be a little bit of a wait. Tomorrow is Thursday? This may drag into next week, but they're, you know, they don't want to be like, okay, we'll take you, and you'll be like, okay, well, my salary requirements just doubled, you know. Whereas if they wait too long, they know that if you're sending out applications, they know that they're not the only one you applied to, you know. I mean, that's what they're assuming, so they know that they have a set amount of time, you know, to give you an offer before you're gone for good. Hopes and Fears is the double card, the obsession card. So this, to me, you know, it's like possession, not as in like by a spirit, as, you know, like Jabba the Hutt kind of possession. Usually it means addiction issues. I find that hard to believe, you know, with a job. So I'm thinking there's going to be some kind of retainer agreement in possession. I mean, in connection with this Ten of Pentacles is the first card. Some kind of offer to pay off at least some or all of your student loan debt. And so maybe, you know, that's where this Devil's coming into play. The other thing is, you might be hoping, you know, I don't have a boss that's, you know, is micromanaging as the one I currently have now, you know. And then the final card is the Five of Wands, which means you do have competition. I have to tell you that. Even if you're going to Nine of Swords about it, you're not the only candidate they're interviewing. And this fact may play into the Hanged Man in that, you know, maybe they're going to interview 10 people and you're candidate number 7, they have to get through 3 more interviews, you know, something like that. So it looks to me like you do really good. You get some kind of offer. You got like 3 Pentacle cards right out the gate. 2 Aces, you know. 5 of Wands is not insurmountable. You know, a 2 of Spades, I'd be like, so, what was the other one, you know? So this looks good. Okay, how soon do we see a job offer in her immediate future? We'll do 3 again. 1, 2, and before I do the third one, I'm going to say we're looking for 8 of Wands, 7 of Wands, no, 7 of Pentacles, 8 of Pentacles, a Knight, anything in the Pentacles, and then none of the hurry up and wait cards. Okay, 3. Okay, well, we got the Hierophant next to the Knight of Swords. So there's the Knight you're looking for. Queen of Pentacles, 2 of Pentacles, 8 of Wands, and the Hopes and Fears. Tower card next to the 7 of Wands. Your boss is not going to be happy that you're leaving. King of Wands in the past, that's the boss that takes the lion's share and throws you the scraps, you know. I have to have elective surgery, so your paycheck's going to be a week late type thing. Okay, so the Hierophant, that's in the past. So the Hierophant is going along with the status quo, jumping through hoops. You know, I want you to jump, how high, da-da-da-da. Knight of Swords means that the offer is coming in fairly quickly. So once they complete all of the interviews, it's not going to be hard for them to say pick up the phone and call her. And the present, you have the Queen of Pentacles. So this means that you're candidate number 1, most likely to get the job offer, even if you're the only the second person they're interviewing out of 10. 2 of Pentacles going into the future, so that to me could indicate 2 days, 2 weeks. Let me see what other numbers are in here. That's a 5, 7. You got 2 7s, an 8, Two sevens would be consistent with 2 weeks, right? And then two sevens and an 8. So I would be like, I would say that it's going to be within 2 weeks, in the middle of the 2 weeks, in the first half of the second week. So write that down so you know. Going farther into the future in the 6th position in the first half of the reading is the 7 of spades. I have to caution you that that usually means deception, lies, somebody's trying to take something from you. So I would be weary of trick questions. The interviewer may want them to hire his retarded cousin instead of you. I'm not saying you can't trust a guy, I'm just saying that that's a red flag. I see the Tower card next to the 7 of Wands. Tower card is entering a state of rebuilding after the catastrophic destruction of a solid foundation. So, you know, you're pretty safe and secure where you're at, they're just not paying you. So, it's time to pull the twig out from under the thing and let the whole thing come tumbling down. 7 of Wands is a sense of struggling hard, trying to keep what you have. You don't want to lose anything. I think that that's the pandemonium you're going to send your boss into, since he appeared as the King of Wands in the past in this reading. Hopes and fears is the 8 of Wands, so obviously you're waiting to hear something rather soon. Final result is the Page of Cups, which usually means a premature offer. Not quite sure. Yeah, you know what that might be? Your boss might be like, okay, well, I'll give you $5,000 more, and you'll be like, well, they're offering me $40,000 more, so thank you for the opportunity. And if you had given it to me when I asked for it, you know, I might have tried to make it work. You know, but I have to go where I'm in demand. I went to college, I've got these credentials, you know, skill set, yada yada, you know. You can hire anyone to do what you're paying me, you know. No, I don't see it. No, I see an offer. I see an offer coming, and with all the pentacles in the previous reading, which I accidentally erased, I'm going to have to say no. That doesn't keep you from it. That's just a hurdle that you have to sidestep. You know, jump over, crawl under, however you get around it. It's just something. You know, the way I use the readings is I don't like unhappy surprises. You know. So I'm constantly doing readings like, what is that 5 of Pentacles? Remember I was telling you about that 3 of Spades and 5 of Pentacles with the one friend? We started making up about 2 days ago, and it was a slow chipping away at the ice process. And I did also see that in subsequent readings, yeah. But, you know, the only and I doubt it, and I'm not going to push for it, but because that's not the type of, you know, but you know, like I saw that coming, you know, so I didn't know if it was going to be more towards the end of the year. I didn't know if it was going to be 3 days or 3 months, you know, stuff like that. But it turned out to be 3 days, and it was in the first half of the reading. That's consistent with the way I do my time frames, you know. But, you know, so the 7 of Swords is something to avoid, you know, because if you fall for that, fall into that, whatever that is, that might be not setting your alarm. You know, then you're going to see different cards the next time where you have like an Ace of Wands where you come up with a new, you know, huh? Right. Like after the, it looks like more like after the interview, it seems like like if you have to accept an offer, or, you know, be prepared to look at an offer that don't sign anything without reading it, and, you know, you're an attorney and I'm telling you that, you know what I'm saying? But this Page of Cups, I think your boss with the Seven of Wands and the King of Wands, I think he's gonna try to buy you back, you know. And you know, if the money's there, the money's there. But I mean, you had the 10, the Ace, and the Queen in the previous reading. You know, so yeah. I mean, somebody that's gonna pay off your student loans, you know, you could be free. No, I just saw that. I saw that according to what I got when I tried to read into it, and the position of the cards as they fell, you know, which cards in which position, and then, you know, like court cards are facing one way, and, you know, the major arcana cards. It's rather lengthy, but you know, I like to take the scientific approach to tarot cards to the greatest extent that's possible, you know. It looks like, it looks like you're going to get some kind of bonus incentive, which you could use to pay your loans, where they're going to say, you know, we'll pay half of your loans if you sign a non-compete agreement for 3 years, or, you know, something like that. You got to be careful with non-compete agreements and your credentials, and I'm sure you know that. Yeah, that's pretty fair. See how you can use it like a tool, you know, to like avoid, you know. It's not like I want to micromanage. I want to know everything that's going on everywhere all the time. It's like, when I do readings for myself, I'm not like, okay, give me a good reading. I'm like, I want to know where the bullshit is. I want to know what I have to watch out for. I want to know who's going to screw me over, who's going to try to hit my car in traffic, you know, stuff like that. Because I don't like surprises. I do readings about my house. You know, how's my roof? How's my electric? How, you know, stuff like that. You're welcome. I do have one question for you. I videotaped this reading with my phone, and I want to use it as an example to show people, which is why I didn't say your name or anyone else's. Is that okay? I can show it to you first. Alright, I didn't want to tell you, I know it's not legal to do that, but I didn't want to tell you that I was taping it because I didn't want you to come funny in the reading. Okay, thanks. Alright. Any other questions? Okay. I'll be up if you're 9 of Swordsing, and you can call me or whatever. Let me know how it goes tomorrow if you want, okay? Have fun in Iceland. Bye.